the things that take away hope never come from Allah Azza wa Jal nor His Messenger Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, but they come from other people. And even sometimes people will repeat things that make you lose hope, and they're not even Islamically accurate. For example, people will tell you things like, the Mahdi will free Bayt al-Maqdis, the Mahdi will free Palestine. And even something like this takes hope away from you. Because when you tell me the Mahdi will free Bayt al-Maqdis and will free Palestine, that means there's absolutely nothing I can do. All I can do right now is ignore that situation and just sit and wait for the Mahdi to come and not do any kind of work. But actually the scholars say that is not accurate. And the hadith describes that when the Mahdi emerges, he will pray 2 rak'at in Bayt al-Maqdis. The hadith casually mentions that he prays 2 rak'at in Bayt al-Maqdis. So the scholars said that means Bayt al-Maqdis will be freed before the Mahdi comes out. And that is something that gives you hope. Because when you tell me there's nothing I can do, that means if I write to congressmen, there's nothing I can do. If I go out on rallies and demonstrations for Palestine, there's absolutely nothing I can do. That I just have to sit and wait. But when I understand that that is not the situation, then maybe I can be part of the catalyst that will cause the freedom of Palestine in the future, or Bayt al-Maqdis, or my children might be part of that, or my grandchildren might be part of that. But to sit and wait for the Mahdi, it is also part of not having hope and just sitting and feeling helpless. And this has happened before, historically, for the Muslim Ummah, when the Tatar or the Mongols invaded Baghdad. They entered into Baghdad, and for 6 long weeks they were killing men, women, children, babies, and not a Muslim would raise a finger to defend themselves. And they would go and hide in the graveyards, and people were just waiting for some kind of miracle. Specifically, the miracle they were waiting for the Mahdi to come and save them. Because the estimates say 1 million to 1.2 million people were killed in Baghdad by the Mongols. So they figured, if 1 million people are killed and the Mahdi doesn't come out, when on earth is he going to come out? So they were certain that the Mahdi was going to come out, and that was part of the explanation for some people never lifting a finger to defend themselves, because the Mahdi is on his way and he is going to do our work. But realistically, this ummah was designed to understand that we do our work our own selves. The Prophet ﷺ physically took part in digging the ditch, the Khandaq, for the Battle of Al-Ahzab. The Prophet ﷺ physically carried bricks and built his masjid with his own 2 hands. The Prophet ﷺ physically walked and shared his camel with people on different journeys. And sometimes he would share his camel with 2 people. So that means he would walk 2/3 of the way and only ride 1/3 of the way. So they did actual work. The Prophet ﷺ showed us an actual example where he did work and he didn't expect any miracles to solve his problems. So these Muslims sat and they waited for the Mahdi to come to fix all of their problems. But realistically, if they would have contemplated the life of the Mahdi himself, they would see that there is a lesson for them in it. Because the Mahdi, at the time he emerges, the Dajjal emerges as well shortly thereafter. And the Dajjal then assembles an army, and the Mahdi assembles an army to resist and to fight off the army of the Dajjal, knowing full well that no one can kill the Dajjal, the Antichrist, except for Isa ibn Maryam alayhi salam. He knows very well that only Isa alayhi salam can kill the Dajjal. Yet he still gathers an army, and they still go out and they still fight against him. Which means the lesson is that the Mahdi didn't wait for Isa alayhi salam to do his work. So why would anyone sit and wait for the Mahdi to do their work?